Hey guys, it's Brandon, your GTA Home Guy, and today we're going to talk about why you should never use the seller's agent as your agent if you're a buyer. We'll go through the top reasons that people may be tempted to use the seller's agent and why those reasons aren't really good. And if you stick around to the end, there's going to be a bonus for you, so you're not going to want to miss it. And if you could take a second to just like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you get notified as soon as the next one comes out. I want to keep delivering awesome content to you. Let's get to it. Alright, now we've got timestamps in the description below if you'd like to just jump ahead to one of these specific points. But today, here's what we'll talk about. There are several reasons why a buyer might choose to go to the listing agent to represent them in the purchase. And we're going to talk about a few of those. One, they might be lazy. Second, they may not really know how the process works. Third, they might think that they could save money. Fourth, they might actually think that in a competing offer that it might give them the advantage. And fifth is most important. You don't want some realtor to latch onto you when you're not ready, you're just looking. Let's talk about those. Being lazy? Come on. There's a lot of things that you're looking into when you've got to buy a home. Don't let your realtor not be one of them. You want to look into the realtor, make sure that they know what they're doing, know what they're talking about, and that they can actually add value to the transaction. Make sure that you don't sign a buyer representation agreement with somebody who hasn't proven themselves already. For those of you who don't know how representation works in Ontario, that's a key thing. You do need to do some research. Hopefully this video has kind of illuminated that a little bit for you, that you can ask a representative to represent you directly and not have to go to the selling agent. But make sure, again, as always, they're a good one before you sign anything with them. If you don't know and you want to test them out, you can also put on the buyer representation agreement that it is only for a specific property. So if it's early on and you just started working with this person, you don't want to commit to them yet, ask them to put it for just the address that you're making the offer on, and make sure yourself that that's in there so that you're not bound beyond that offer. Next, sometimes people think that they're going to save money. There's a couple of different ways they might assess that. Maybe the listing agent will cut them a break on commission and the buyer will get that discount. Or perhaps they'll know that the seller's a little bit more motivated because the seller's rep is trying to get them a good deal. Here's the reality. That realtor has listed that property and they have agreed to work wholeheartedly for the seller. If a buyer does come into that, you don't know what kind of situation you're getting into. That seller's rep might actually be a really good friend to that seller and think, you know what, I'm not going to destroy that relationship or tarnish it with my seller just to get this buyer. So it might not work the way you're seemingly thinking it's going to. It might actually just become a detriment to you. And the other thing that really makes an impact is that the listing agent told the seller this is how much your house is going to sell for. So they're not going to say, hey, you know what, little bit of egg on my face. It's not worth that much because now I brought a buyer in and they want it for less. Not going to happen. This is somebody who's got a substantial relationship with somebody already who's committed to paying them a decent amount of money, so they're not going to risk that just to get you as the buyer. They may still try and play both sides of the fence where they're saying they'll help you, but where the rubber meets the road, I know you've got to go for what's good for the seller. Competing offers! Oh no! Thinking that an agent who's going into competing offers and working for the seller is going to help you, it's not really how it works, because there's a lot of chance for litigation if somebody sniffs that there's something that's gone wrong. A lot of times selling agents will say, you know what, no, you as a buyer, why don't you go to somebody else? Here's a colleague in my office. And then you're stuck with somebody you don't know who's not related and it's not helpful to you during this offer. The main point is they're still going to have to work for the best of the seller, and they're also going to have to be so much above board that nobody else is going to accuse them of being dirty. The last point and the most important one is you don't want somebody latching onto you. You don't want your full-time job to become ditching this agent. Oh my gosh, they're everywhere. Oh, is that them? Point is, nobody likes to be hassled, harassed, and chased around by anyone who's a salesperson. We all know what that feels like. You know, you're walking into the grocery store and you see that guy and you're like, I do not want a MasterCard at all. And you're just like, gotta go. And then they hop on your back. In all reality, you're an adult. And you don't need to be hassled, hounded, and harassed. So make sure that the person that you are looking into is somebody who's gonna respect you through the process, and you don't have to feel like that person's not trying to be helpful, but they're trying to squeeze your pockets to get that money out, right? And a great way is to know the realtor well who you want to represent you. I'm in real estate, I sell homes, so reach out. That's what this is about. It's been awesome. Make sure, like I said, subscribe. Find me on any social at GTAHomeGuy, and that's it. Oh, wait a second. We got a bonus. What we got in here? You're gonna be so glad that you stuck around, because there are 3 things that I hate about a buyer representation agreement in Ontario, and I'm gonna tell you, you can change these things. How do I know this? Am I a magician? Woo. No. But what I do know is contracts. In Ontario, there is no way out of that contract. Once you've signed it, you are committed until the end of that contract. So make sure you really love the person. Have I said that before? I think I have. Second thing is, on the buyer representation agreement, it does state that if there's a deficiency between the commission stated and the commission paid by the seller or the listing brokerage, if any commission, then you are responsible to pay that deficiency. There are a lot of ways, and check out some of my other videos to find out what those are specifically, that you could be liable to pay a deficiency in commission. Not cool. You can change that. Stay tuned. The other thing is that there's no guaranteed basic level of service. There's literally a sentence that says at the very end of the buyer representation agreement, right above where you sign, that says the brokerage shall endeavor to secure a property as herein listed, da 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 da. It's not telling you what you're going to get for service. Too many people have so many expectations, and they just don't get met because they're not discussed. Now here's the thing, I told you there was a way around this, right? I have a schedule that if you reach out to me, I will send you, and you can make sure that your realtor submits something like that inside your agreement, because you're allowed to make changes to these agreements. So, was I lying? Wasn't that a bonus worth watching, even if it was just for the cards? Comment down below and I'll make sure to get you a link so that you can see exactly what that should look like, and you can add it to any agreement that you jump into. It's not space specific, so this is something that can go anywhere that contracts exist. You can add stuff. That's your right. That's it. Reach out on any social at GTAHomeGuy, but before you do, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.
Reach out in any social at GTAHomeGuy. I did that.